Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny Marksman here, and today I am joined by Mark, otherwise known as Darkly A.M. What's up, Mark? How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, very good. So, Mark is one of our star students who's been working with us for quite some time now, and yeah, is really making some noise in the game now with some great label signings and some really good results on Spotify. So, yeah, Mark, what's all the news? How's it been going?
It's been going great, actually. I think since I joined up with you, I think I've had probably 15 or 20 releases out on labels, a couple of self-releases. I got a notification the other day that I'd gone over the 500,000 streams on Spotify.
Oh,
So,
yes.
that was good. Uh, I think as well, because of the contacts and the connections that I've had with you through the course, I was able to DJ alongside one of my favourite Anjuna Deep. I think she's on the label. Just her. So I was on the
Yes.
same bill as her, and I've kind of admired her work for 2 or 3 years as well. So that all came together, which was great. I've got a collab coming out with Simon, who's on the course as well. A really great producer who's had some awesome releases in the sort of melodic house, progressive house arena, which is my sort of bag. So we've just got that signed to a label. So yeah, so it's all going good, and I've just had a release out as well on Routine Espresso, a label in Sacramento, California. And one of the sort of ways that you talked about you working with a vocalist was to sort of go out and connect with them on social media. That's what I did. I found this great vocalist, and she ended up on the track with really, really great vocals that was pretty much almost done in one take. So yeah, it's great. So all the contacts that I've made and all the learning that I've had have really helped me.
That's great to hear. And yes, Simon did tell me about the track. Is it Hathor, right? You've signed to?
Yes, yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, he told me about that the other day. So that's really big. Like the first big collaboration in the community, which is what we love to see. So yeah, great that you got it on Hathor, and everything's been going super well so far. So yeah, like the Just Her gig. Let's talk about that. That was at the Deep Underground Knots event, right? Wasn't it?
yes, yeah. The rave in the cave. Yes,
Yeah, that was really. I'm good. I couldn't make it that time, but like I saw the videos and it looked insane as
yeah, it's
always.
great.
Yeah, but yeah, she's a really awesome producer, and I guess it just goes to show that like if you put in the work and you're consistent, like people that you admire become actually quite close within your circle, and it's not that far away if you just get on the right path, so to speak,
Sure.
and
I mean, it was down to the contacts that I made through you that I got in touch with the Nose guys and realised that they were doing this thing in Nottingham, which is not far away from where I live, and just consistently showed up, supported them, said that what they were doing were great, and then 3 or 4 events in, they asked me if I wanted to DJ. So it works.
well, exactly right. It's crazy that people don't really do this, like just actually showing support for other people and brands or artists or whatever it might be, like the event Deep Underground Knots we're talking about, like just going to these events, right, and being a part of them, checking them out like wanting to get involved is the best way to do it, really, because we get all sorts of messages from people on our Elevation account being like, oh my god, I love your brand, I'd love to come play for you, and like, cool, have you ever actually been to an event or even know what it's about?
Yeah.
And we just kind of tend to ignore these people, but
Yeah.
people tend to like working with people that they know and support them, and like you're always top of mind. And of course, like those event side of things as well, like it's not possible to go to like events all around the world and show
Yeah.
support, like, but it can just be as simple as like the basic stuff, just like supporting someone's music, like sharing it to your stories and just giving back to the community, and then people will always think of you. So yeah, I'm glad it's working. And I saw that we're almost at 300k on one of your tracks, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
every time I check it, it just seems to have gone up by about 15 or 20k. So it's
Yeah.
still growing, which is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's got a life of its own, that one.
So yeah, how are you feeling now that things are, I guess, progressing and we're starting to scale things up, considering where we started a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, it always sounds like a bit of a, oh, you would say that kind of thing, wouldn't you? But when you get to this point, you have to think about where you've come from. And if somebody had said to me, you've had over 500,000 streams, a year, 18 months ago, I'd have gone, yeah, get out of it. But it really does, you do have to kind of just kind of shake yourself and go, actually, yeah, I have come quite a long way. And so it's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling to know that people are listening to your music, because that's why we're all here at the end of the day. It's great to have a creative outlet and stuff, but if nobody's hearing it, it's kind of a bit like, And I know people that have said, I just enjoy making music, it's just for myself, and if I release it and people hear it, that's great. But for me, that's kind of half the joy, is seeing other people and hearing about other people that enjoy my music as well, and making the connections and contacts. Because I think it was Marsh that said, like, in the kind of melodic music world, you can't, it's a kind of a filter that gets out all the arseholes, it gets rid of people who and it just seems to attract a certain kind of person. They're always really nice, so I'm sure everybody's not nice and amazing, but most people I've come across, that are connected with this kind of music that I've met, mostly through the contacts and the connections that I've made with you, they've all been great, so it's not only great producing the music and you get a buzz out of that and then you get a buzz out of signing, but actually you go on to meet friends and you meet nice people, so it's all good.
Yeah, well, I think you're definitely on something there with the melodic people. Like I've generally found everybody is pretty awesome in most regards. There's been maybe only one case that I can actually remember where I'm like, yeah, that person wasn't too nice. But
Yeah.
in general, like, everyone's awesome, and it does change your life when you actually like put yourself out there and meet like-minded people. Because I don't know about you, but I certainly felt like a lot of my friends weren't really like me and what have you, but then as soon as, like, through music, I've met all these awesome people who I was like, oh my god, we're like the same person, and it's very interesting. But I think
that's another thing. That's another value of the Accelerator program. Is like you get to fire music off to people who know what they're talking about and are interested in the same kind of things as you. Because it's easy to give it to your friends or family, and for them to go, oh yeah, that sounds good, or it sounds okay, and that's it. You need somebody who's going to give you some constructive criticism and help you on your journey, rather than just sending it out to people that just go, yeah, sounds good, and that's it.
yeah, well, that's essentially like why we do it, because I think people don't tend to have that kind of feedback loop, which is really important, because
Absolutely vital.
you need the technical guidance to get something to where it needs to be. And even if it's just to say, hey, this is really good, like, nothing wrong, like, release it, like, put it out there, then that's something in itself. But just having that system in place, like, even I have like a few people that I truly trust their judgment that I will send my music to every now. I mean, I'm usually pretty confident about it these days, but like, even I will send it to occasionally to someone, like, hey, what do you think to this? Especially when you're on like version 10 of the mix.
Yeah, especially when you're stuck and you've heard it, you just think, I need a new set of ears on this. And sometimes when you're playing it back to them, you immediately hear it then the first time, even though you've played it 100 times. But yeah, it's just great getting that feedback, because it's really useful, especially when you're stuck, and especially if it's someone that you trust and has got a lot of good releases under the belt and got some skills that you haven't. It just helps you on your journey and helps you get those skills then.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I think something you said as well was interesting, where, there are people out there that just want to make music for themselves predominantly, but, it is also nice seeing that people out there are also enjoying it as well. And, like, particularly you hitting that milestone must be a very great feeling as well, knowing that, things are growing, right? And I guess to that point, like, what's next? What's going to happen for you in 2025? Like, what's on the horizon so far for you?
So I've set myself some goal of trying to release a track a month, or maybe every 4 to 6 weeks, for the rest of the year. And and I may try going down the independent route. I may try going to labels, but I'm definitely going to focus on getting tracks out this year. So
That's awesome.
That's my goal.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I think we could definitely hit that. That's for sure. And remember, there's no harm in going independent, particularly with like the support networks we're creating through the program, of which there's going to be a lot more, by the way. That I can't specifically say exactly what they're going to be just yet, because they're not fully finished. But there's going to be, between you and I, and well, I guess the people watching the video, there's going to be some great stuff coming very soon, which I'll tell you more about when in a non-public forum. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming, and
I look forward to that.
The thing is, like, from everything we show you, like, there are going to be labels that are really, really worth working with, right? But if you can't really get on one of the top labels, then absolutely go the independent route, because you've got full control over that, and you can just go direct to the audience, right? And just say, hey, what do you guys think to this? Rather than have the label decide whether or not it's right on their audience, when their audience might actually love it. So I think we can definitely get you a track a month done, or at least every 6 weeks. So that would be like 8 to 12 releases this year, which is totally achievable. I mean, I think we've got it. And, we've got our track together with Veronica as well, which just got to find a home for that. I've got a very good feeling about that one in particular. And like worst case scenario, could just throw it on Elevation. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I think
don't do Elevation down. It's not the worst case.
I mean, it's a great thing, of course. But yeah, we'll get it somewhere. That's for sure. It'll have a good home. But yeah, like what would you like? I guess if you could have told yourself something a couple years ago with production, like what would be that golden nugget you would have told you that you today could tell yourself 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
I think just have some confidence and just persevere, just keep going, because that's the other thing as well. When you start sending out tracks, that you get knockbacks, and at first it can be quite like, oh, I must be really terrible, but that's okay. Your first tracks might be a little bit terrible. But,
I know mine was.
Yeah, well, I know. Mine are as well. I listen back to them. I just think, oh, crikey, why did I ever release that load of crap? But it's a journey, as I keep saying, it's a journey. Of course. And I think, it's find somebody that you trust to give you feedback, and that will help you grow. Don't be afraid along that journey to hit some stone, some stones in the road, some pitfalls in the road. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get on with it. And also, don't be afraid to go out there and shake people's hand in the real world. That's right. I had a couple of releases like that. That's how I got to DJ with another DJ, be on the same set as a DJ that I really liked. And that was all about swallowing your embarrassment and just getting on with it. But so long as you're not a dickhead, you just come across as being friendly and not like putting a USB stick in somebody's face and saying, "Oh, listen to that," and then walking away. That's never going to work. It
doesn't.
It's easier than ever to build up a relationship with somebody on social media now, but a supportive relationship to show that you're a fan of their stuff. So yeah, I think it's don't be afraid of knockbacks. Get somebody that you trust to give you feedback, and just go out and press the flesh a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's so right. I mean, like, the journey to success is definitely not a straight line. It's like a crazy thing, and it's all about consistency, really. And I think something that you said there, where you get the knockbacks from like labels or little setbacks or whatever you might want to call them, like often, I guess at the start, it does feel like it comes from, like, particularly when you haven't received a no before in the industry, it does definitely hit the ego quite hard, and it feels like it comes from a position of I don't know if disrespect is the right word. I can't really think of the right word, but it feels like negative or evil or something, and at least the first time. But actually, like, when you start developing relationships with said labels and people, you realize that actually, like, it's just a normal person, and often if you can build the relationship with them, they're actually trying to help you. Like, particularly if you look at some of the big labels, that I send my music to and still get rejected to. Like now it's very friendly and they just say, hey,
Yeah.
just basically do this next time and
Yeah.
it would be a yes. But then I always never actually do that because I, I don't want to compromise my integrity on writing a specific track for their standards or whatever. I
Yeah.
go a little bit rogue pretty much every track, as I'm sure you can see by the music I put out there. But
Well, like I said, I'm awaiting the mad drums, but you've
yes,
the
that is
metal drums that you're going to introduce into Melodic House.
oh my lord, yeah, that's coming. I'm
Bumping that double
practicing
kick
every.
drum.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts. I'm practicing every day now. In anticipation of that, and before like we start releasing tracks out there and snippets, I'm just gonna be posting like some like just general drum videos and what have you.
You're
But yeah,
putting
it's all about
putting the prog rock back into progressive house.
exactly. But yeah, that's the thing. It's all about embracing your uniqueness, right? And to circle back to where you were saying about going independent and putting your own music out there, there's no harm in doing that if you can like prove to people that like it's worth their time, right? And you know, you've got great music, Mark, now, so like it's definitely could be a great option. And there's actually I don't know if you know the guys Pandora, the
Yes.
duo. Like I've been following them for a while. I love their music, and I was just going through their Spotify the other day and looking, and like pretty much every single track they've released in the last 2 years has been a self-release, and it's doing really, really well. Because I think similarly they were just getting a little bit sick of like labels and being a bit too unique and weird. I wouldn't say they're weird or
Yeah.
like they are unique though, because it's all live and very interesting. But you know, like you can absolutely just build your own audience, which is something that we can absolutely help with and support with. And yeah, through the community, that's
Yeah,
essentially what we're doing.
absolutely. And you get to keep their money. Not the label
Exactly,
takes it.
all £5 of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. Well, look, Mark, it's been absolutely great catching up, and I am really excited because I think 2025 is going to be a great year for you with
Well,
the releases.
Thanks
and
for all your help.
Oh, our pleasure. Now, one thing I will say, guys, if you are watching this and you would like to get some great results as well, then we do run a program. There are two programs. We run the Accelerator and the Professional House and Techno Producer. Now, this is by application only. Like, we need to make sure you're the right person who's going to get results because we do guarantee results. So to the right person, it's going to take you to the next level, right? So if you want to learn more about that, the best thing to do is to hop directly on a chat with us, right? That way we can learn if you are right. So in the description of this video, there is a link to book a session with me. If you want to do that, hop in. Now, I will say this is a paid program. So if you're expecting freebies, this is not for you, but we do guarantee results and we'll need to make sure you're a good fit first. So if that does sound like you, if you do want to start getting results with your music and take things to the next level, much like Mark here has done, like his transformation is pretty insane considering where we are now, then book a session with us below. But yeah, otherwise, we'll catch you in the next session. And Mark, I'll see you potentially later tonight for the training.